Welcome to another edition of the Buddicom Telecom Files, and this time I would like to give you another update on the national broadband developments in Australia, and in particularly also being a little bit involved in the political debate and the pros and cons of both parties in that respect, and what basically is the future of the NBN after the next election, and particularly of course if a new coalition government in Australia will win that election. The election most likely will take place late 2013, so it's still a bit some time off, but at the same time infrastructure projects are long-term projects, so it's worthwhile looking beyond 2013 in this clip as well. But first of all, let me state that finally, we've got the fundamentals right. It took approximately a year, 1.5 years longer than expected when we developed these plans between 2007 and 2009. But the negotiations with Telstra, regarding an $11 billion contract, so that takes time. The whole regulatory issues that are involved. So the industry really wants to make sure that it gets a fair deal on the national broadband network. Still not 100% solved, but it's looking pretty good, and the ACCC, the regulator, has clearly indicated that it has the tools that even if things are not going according to plan, that they will intervene, and they have the tools and the power to intervene and make sure that the NBN is providing the competitive level that is envisaged in the structural separation of Telstra and the structural separation of the national broadband network. Now, we're still waiting on the vision and strategy of the opposition, the Liberal, particularly the Liberal Party in Australia, with the Shadow Minister Malcolm Turnbull and the other expert in the Shadow Government, Paul Fletcher. Both very experienced people in the telecommunications industry, very respected people in the telecommunications industry, who very much understand all the needs and all the problems that we are facing. So I have faith in these people that they will guide us, even if they win the election, and even if they start looking at changes to the NBN. I'm still confident that we will see some good outcomes after that. I think the major difference what we start seeing now is the possibility of the opposition parties looking at a fibre to the node network rather than a fibre to the home network. And my comment and my analysis is basically, let's first ask ourselves, and particularly ask the opposition, why do you want a national broadband network? What do you want to get out of it? Are you seeing it as the backbone for the digital economy? Do you see that it's important for e-health, education, smart grids and things like that? We still haven't heard anything along those lines from the opposition, and it's very important that we get their vision on where they see this happening, because only if you have a plan what you want to do with that infrastructure can you actually start filling in the technical details. Once you know what your requirements are, in relation to the capacity of the network, the affordability, the ubiquitousness, the security, the privacy, all of these issues that you need to know for the number of applications that you want. I've always stated, if we simply want to roll out a national broadband network, to get faster internet, let's stop it straight away now and don't invest any taxpayers' money in that. That's not necessary. You only want to invest taxpayers' money if you believe that this is the national infrastructure and it's in the national interest, and that it's going to stimulate the digital economy, and it's going to provide significant benefits for healthcare, education, etc. Otherwise, the government should not pay any taxpayers' money. But unless we know from the opposition what they actually believe, why we have the NBN or why they want the NBN, we cannot start filling in those details. If you look at the current NBN, where the government has clearly indicated that it does it for the national interest, it wants to put e-health and education in. There are now some close to 100 projects that the government has initiated under its national digital economy strategy, and that clearly indicates that that's where the government believes that the benefits, the social and economic benefits, are coming from. So if we start looking at that, and we start looking at the 400 or 500 volunteer people that have been involved in actually designing the national broadband network between 2007 and 2009, and the full Marks for the Digital Economy Work Group, and for Australian communications, you know, the people that looked after the technical details. We have the experts of the country involved in this, and obviously if the opposition is going to look at this, we have the similar sort of people start looking at their plans. And it would be highly unlikely that you get totally different outcomes, you know, from the same people in looking at what is the benefit for the country, how do you then design it, etc. Yes, you can have a difference in flavour, and yes, you can have a difference in how you implement. Do you want to implement it over 15 years rather than 10? Do you want to have the cable television networks staying a little bit longer, you know, in action rather than replacing them by fibre to the home? All these things are possible, and all these things of course can be discussed. But the principle, the concept, the reason why, the national interest, that are the key elements that we first need to know from the opposition. Do they believe in that? How do they envisage that ICT can help the economy, can help the social problems and opportunities that we're having in the market? Once we know that, we can start filling in the details. Unless the opposition comes with a vision and starts to indicate what they really want, the sort of the discussions that we're having now is rather fruitless, because there is no basis for on which the opposition is currently putting its NBN plans to us in the market to make a judgment about it. But you know, I'm looking forward. You know, Malcolm Turnbull and Paul Fletcher are both visionary people. They all very well understand this developments in this market. So I'm looking forward to their views, to their vision, and then work together with them and the industry, of course, you know, on the strategies that are then best suited on the basis of the plans and the vision that the opposition is going to put in front of us. Thank you very much for listening to me. I've got a couple of blogs on these sort of issues, and obviously please have a look at our website and find some further background information on it. Thank you.